So, Bill Kristol, what's going on here?
Well, what's going on is the middle class is not doing well. James and I agree on that. And actually, I think whichever party in 2016 has an agenda for not just general economic growth, but really to help middle class families, I think we'll be much better off. So the middle class isn't doing well. Obamacare, the president's signature legislative accomplishment, is a total disaster. And his foreign policy is one of weakness, and we're now in retreat around the world. And most recently, obviously, after making unbelievable concessions, ones that were even beyond what the French could accept, we still couldn't get a deal with Iran, and so Iran's chugging ahead with its nuclear program. So he's not having a good second term.
But you know what?
He needs James to come in and help him. James is good.
I hadn't started a war, which is good for me.
Here's the bottom line, I think. Bill Keller writes in the New York Times, salvaging Obama. He says, in part, the bungling of the health care rollout was a humiliation for an administration whose campaign wizards famously tamed the social network in 2012. It's given Republicans license to feign indignation, even as they do their best to undermine the new program. It's distracted the press from both the success stories, like Kentucky, where the rollout worked the way it was supposed to, and the episodes of Republican mischief, like Georgia, where the state blocked the hiring of navigators to help applicants through the enrollment process. I have no doubt that the administration will get the system working and that the program will ultimately prove popular. But the longer it takes, the more the president squanders the already meager public confidence that he can do anything right.
You know, John Meeks, we were talking about this before. I was talking about the hot house of 24/7 news culture. But you can go back to second terms. And, of course, a lot of people, a lot of Obama supporters rolled their eyes going, oh, give me a break. There's no second-term curse. But go back. I mean, let's look at LBJ. Then you go to Nixon. Of course, 1973, he only got into his fifth year, and the wheels started to come off. Ronald Reagan, I remember 6 years in, people just stopped listening to him, especially on the Contras, and then you had Iran-Contra. Then, of course, Bill Clinton had his problems. His poll numbers went up.
Right.
George W. Bush, a terrible fifth year, sixth year, seventh year. And it's happened again. This is not a mistake. This is a historical trend.
Right. Well, a president in a second term has run his last election. So everyone else in the system has this same narrow, or at least very well-defined personal interests going forward. The president, as the president's vision is supposed to get bigger, everyone else's vision gets a little bit smaller and more focused. In this case, I think we just hit the one-year anniversary, didn't we, of the re-election? I mean, that's one thing. One thing that has sped up is, I mean, everything has sped up. So he didn't even really get the year you're supposed to get in order to get some things done.
And even before the wheels fell off of health care, John, you had people talking about how he wasn't getting any legislation passed. He couldn't even get background checks passed, with 90% of Americans supporting background checks.
No. And one of the things that, unfortunately, it seems to me the only thing that changes this dynamic is some external crisis of some kind, and which is the last thing you wish for. But it seems to me that that's probably the only thing that really shifts this dynamic.
Can I say that you guys are overthinking this and you're being deep, historical, systemic things. Obamacare is a total disaster. If Obamacare were working well, and if we were respected around the world, and people had the sense that the Iranians were in retreat and our allies had confidence in us, don't you think Obama's numbers would be 10 points higher? I don't think this is due to history. This is due to the fact that his actual policies are failing. Americans are losing their health insurance, and the Iranians are keeping their nuclear program. Get on.